You do not have an earning problem, you have a spending problem. This is exactly what we're going to be talking about in this episode. If you are somebody that is always struggling month by month, living paycheck to paycheck, and wondering why you've never accumulated any level of wealth whatsoever, then this video is for you. This is what they don't teach you in school, and I'm very looking forward to this episode. So without further ado, let's dive straight in. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It is a beautiful sunny day here in the UK post-storm. I can't remember what name it was, but it was pretty crazy here. I had a tree come down. It was like 100 miles an hour winds. There's still debris everywhere that we're clearing up. However, it's a beautiful sunny day and the show must go on. So what I thought I would do is an episode today that I think that is lacking and what we are not taught in school. I recently turned 31, so it was my birthday recently. Thank you so much for all the messages, by the way. And it got me reflecting on certain life lessons and key things that I wish that I knew. And it would have helped me just advance in life a lot quicker. And I think people still don't understand it. People that are 25 still don't understand this. People that are 30, 35, 40 years old still living in debt, and they don't understand the numbers. People often think that the way they get ahead is just to earn more money. It's not necessarily the case. Of course, earning more money is always the focus and generating more income. However, you don't have an earning problem, you have a spending problem, and it's in the numbers. For example, I've just got a pen and pad here. Think about the number that you earn right now, and we'll go simple figures. Let's say, for example, $2,000 per month is your income. That's your job. For this example, number's really simple. So you earn $2,000, and we'll go into the expenditures in just a second, but let's say, for example, you put aside 10% to invest and 10% to save. Just simple figures for now. So what have we got? We've got $200 that will go into an investment. That could be any type of investment. It could be stocks and shares. It could be a bank-based investment. It could be a crypto. It could be anything, right, that you invest in. But every single month with discipline, you invest that 200. Now another 200, 10%, that is going to go to just savings account. Now, it doesn't matter so much at this point as to what this is going to do. This is not to make a ridiculous return, but I'll explain why. How many people are there out in the world right now, globally, that will earn something like, say, $2,000 a month and will not have any money in their account whatsoever at the end of the year? If you ask them in December, they've got no money in their account. Yet, if you just saved 200 every single month, what would we have? We would have saved 2,400, yet people still don't have no money. Why is that? Well, it's not an earning problem at this point, because you could say, well, I need to pay my rent, I need to pay these things. Well, this is for a general overview. We don't know what situation everybody's in. If you're living by yourself, then yes, you have rent to cover, etc. You might not have as much. But there's always other ways around it. For example, people will allocate $1,000 a month to, let's say, some rent, which what they really could go and do is either live with their parents, right? But part of their ego tells them, well, I want my own space. Well, then you have to sacrifice the fact that you can't put any money away. You can't save, you can't invest. You've made that decision. Or you can go and house share, right? Why not? Well, if you want to go and house share, it's going to be considerably less than what it would be if you'd rent. So people tend to want to almost make this luxury stepping stone, and they don't want to have any of the discomforts or the lack of luxuries. And that is part of the big problem. So if you can stay at home, let's say you live with your parents, and you can leverage that, well, then you don't have all of these bigger overheads. You might have some sort of contribution, fair enough, but it's not going to be as much as if you was living by yourself. So just from that perspective, right, you got 200, 200. So you're left with 1,600 left at this stage. Let's say all in $1,000 was, contribution at home. This is permitting that you live with your parents. You've got rent money, you've got food, bills, all that type of stuff. All of that is covered within that, and you've still got 600 left that could go to unforeseen things, maybe a car, some insurance, etc. You get my point, that even out of $2,000, which isn't huge, that you can earn, you can still put away 400, 200 in your bank, and 200 gets invested. So at the end of the year, what is that times 5, right? What is that times 3? In 5 years, if you just doing that, having the discipline, automatic, that going out, you've got way over 10,000 in your bank account in 5 years. Yet how many people do you know? Millions of people will still in 5 years, they wouldn't have done this simple maths, even on $2,000, and they don't have 10,000. How many? Everyone's living month to month. Why? they don't have an earning problem, they have a spending problem because they have bad habits, and all you need to do is go through your bank account and take a look at it. Takeaways, luxuries, extra trainers that you don't need, coats, events, the list goes on, birthdays, you name it. You have to start sacrificing and prioritizing your life. Where is your money going? Just look at the numbers. Literally, print out 3 months of your bank statements and just look and go through and just make a little table and go necessities, right? Write down your necessities, things that are absolutely essential that you need, and then luxuries, and identify them and start to see where the money is going. Where are you spending your money? And you'll start to notice over 3 months, I guarantee you, you've probably got a lot more money than what you realize, but you just waste it. You're so wasteful for it. We've not even gotten into the investment part one because there's too many variables to that. You could invest it. You could have invested in Tesla at the right time and then compounded that every month, and it would have accumulated to a lot more. But even if you invested it in something that yielded 4 or 5%, you'd have considerably more than what you'd have if you just saved it. But you've saved it and compounded that. So not only would you have the 10K at the end of the 5 years, you might have accumulated, your investments might have accumulated to 20 or 30 or maybe even more. So suddenly in 5 years' time, you got 40K in your bank that you never would have had. And that is the big difference. Most people don't realize it's got nothing to do with their earning, right? You can always earn more. But if you do not fix this fundamentally, if you do not fix it, you'll always have a problem, which is why you keep getting into debt, why you always live month to month, and it doesn't really matter what happens. Even when you do earn more, you find a way to spend more of it. I'll give you an example. So I had quite a few friends that have done this over the years, where they've either had a promotion or they've gone into a new job where they can earn more money. And then what tends to happen is they go from making 2,000 to let's say 3,000 or 4,000, and they're earning a lot more than what they're used to earning. But yet every month they're still broke. Why is that? So they've even earned more at this stage and they still don't have any money. Why? It's because what they do is they go from, let's say they go out every Friday, go see friends, have some drinks, etc. Now they're earning more. They go out every Friday, now they go out Saturday as well. And then when they're out, they spend more money on more drinks because they can buy more. And when they go out, they buy more clothes for those outings of just extra jumpers, extra shirts, more designer wear, more aftershaves, more perfumes, you name it. The list goes on. And if you resonate with this and you have this bad habit, you likely didn't have the guidance. It's not always your fault. You are an adult at the end of the day. You have the responsibility to take ownership over that. But you wasn't taught this stuff in school. Someone who could be earning $2,000 a month could earn a lot more than someone who's earning 4,000, right? So how is it that the person that's earning 2,000 can be more wealthier than the person that's earning 4,000 a month? The person who has 4,000 a month spends it pretty much all, has pretty much nothing at the end of the month, because all they've done is fill the void of what they've never had. So when they start to earn more money, they just find ways to get rid of it. They're uncomfortable with more money. It doesn't matter if they earn 5,000, 6,000, they will find a way to get a more expensive car, book more holidays, the list goes on. You have to look at yourself in the mirror and say, do you have this problem? And if you do, you will never be wealthy. You have to fix this stuff. Think about it. In school, we're not taught this. If I was taught this years before, I'd have way more wealth than I do now. And it took me a long time to figure this stuff out. Simple things. We're taught business by our business teacher. For example, I was taught business studies, right, when I was at school from someone who's never run a business. They may know all the theory and it comes from a good place, but you're getting guidance for someone that earns £30,000 a year. But how are they going to teach you how to earn $1 million? How are they going to teach you how to run a 7-8 figure business? How is that going to happen if they've not experienced it? They've not experienced how to file VAT. They've not experienced VAT in different countries. They've not experienced corporation tax changes. They've not experienced compliance, organization. Just the list goes on, and softwares and running businesses, managing people, right? Being organized, structured, disciplined. The list goes on. The pressure, the financial pressure of running different things. And I'm sure in one of my another episode, I'll actually share with you a business that didn't go well for me. The business failed and some important life lessons coming on that one. However, you can learn a lot of theory from someone, but if they've not done it, they're not going to be able to give you the transferable skills that equipped you to be able to do that. So you wonder, well, why is this not taught in school? Well, the very people that are teaching you business studies at school don't have a business and they're in debt. So how are they going to teach you? That is the cold, harsh reality. That is the system, that is the way it is. And as you get older, it's your responsibility to take ownership over that and start to learn these positive habits that do build financial wealth, which is why I wanted to share this on this channel, because you could be someone who's 18 right now, 20, 21, 25, 40, and you've still not figured it out. you can still make changes now. You can read a lot about a lot of things. For example, imagine the way I see it is with the schooling system, which I don't want to digress too much, but it's almost like theory is not enough. Imagine I wanted to be a rally car driver and I got a book and I just read everything about how to drive a rally car on the track. And I knew all the theory, everything. I knew when to change gear. I knew all the different conditions, if you should go faster or slower, the cylinders, the horsepower, just absolutely everything as to how to drive this car to the best of its ability and win everything. If I've not sat behind the wheel and actually experienced it, I'm never going to be able to drive a rally car until I'm in the rally car and I've had the experience, right? So you cannot expect your teachers that when you're at school to be able to guide you and give you these skills. Most people, they're complaining about the system as that it's the teacher's fault. It's not the teacher's fault. They've not run a business. All they're doing is regurgitating things that they know. They may be educated. They may know a lot about theory. But the reality is, if you want to get to where you want to be, you have to ask simple questions. You get advice from people that have either been where you want to go or are in the position that you want to be. It is that simple. And when I started asking these good questions, I started to get more information like this and realized, right, this is how you do it. This wasn't taught in school. So you don't have an earning problem, you have a spending problem. And if you continue that bad habit of all the spending and just buying things that you don't need to impress people that you don't like, you'll forever be in this vicious cycle. And you'll always tell yourself, if only I could earn more. Fix your bad habits first and you will create financial wealth. The universe has a funny way of moving out of your way. When you fix these things, don't be surprised that you do start to acquire more wealth, you earn more. And because you've built such good habits, the more that you earn, the more you can save, the more you can invest and get that money working for you, you actually start to build more wealth. So I wanted to share this episode. There is so much just in this short episode that will completely change your life if you listen to what I'm saying, if you start building these practical habits straight away. Just create one. You could literally do this right now. Create a direct debit that goes out of your bank and just be disciplined enough to take that percentage and invest it. Even if it's 5%. 5% gets invested, 5% gets saved. Even just start small and then incrementally build up, and before you know it, you'll be very smart with your finances in general, smart with your money, and you'll tend to make more money. Thank you for tuning into this episode. Let me know if you resonated with this and you'd like to see more examples of these type of videos from life lessons. They all come from my own experience. So I will only share with you things that I've personally experienced or doing myself in the aim that it assists you on this channel. Thank you so much, guys. Catch you in the next one. Time to get financially smart.